Hello, it's Diane. I'm sick today, but I felt up to finishing up some Christmas books. That's about all I felt up to. Thankfully, I didn't have to work today. My housework is just going to have to wait. I was asked to do some Christmas smash books for the shop that I put them in. And first I thought I just didn't have time to do Christmas smash books because I'm trying to do some projects to give away for gifts, for Christmas gifts. But then I thought I've got all of this Christmas paper. I didn't buy any Christmas items, products this year so far. But I have all this left over, and I might as well just get some books made and get them in the shop and maybe get some money for them. So I made 3 books of varying sizes, and I'm going to go through them. I don't know if it'll be 1 or 2 videos. We'll see how quick I can do them. Here's a book that's 5.5 by 11.5 inches, so it's pretty tall. It's a tall, thin book, and it was an old book from when the library was getting rid of books. They had a sale last summer. You could get a whole big bag full of books for $1. So this is one that I picked up then. It's got a cloth cover, and as I said, it's an old book, and it was about crystal magic. And it had this snowflake on it and a picture of a crystal down here. And I thought that I liked it as, you know, for the snowflake, and I just wanted to cover up parts of it. And the snowflake inspired me to try embossing. So I have these snowflake stamps, and I used some silver embossing powder, and I embossed the stamps. The book was so old that the edges were pretty worn and frayed, and I couldn't leave it that way, so I just covered the edges. It's actually a lot more fussy to do this than to just cover the whole book cover as I usually do. But I did want to keep that blue cover. On the back, I did cover the entire book, entire cover. So it's bound with my Bind It All, and I will just go through the book. As I said, I was just using up things I had. I had purchased these invitations at the little shop where I sell my books. Someone had put in these old invitations to sell, so I bought 2 little packages of them. So I put that in. On the front here, I put 2 from Santa, and so they can put, the owner of the book can put their name on it. And then this little cutout piece says date on it. And there's a lot of K & Company paper in here, and I think some Tim Holtz and maybe Echo Park. These picture frames I cut out with my Cricut, and then I put the inner portions that came out of the frame, I clip them there so the person can use them as a template to cut the pictures to put in the frames. This is an envelope that came with a card. Now, I got a set of these a few years ago. They came in the mail from Colonial Williamsburg, and I have no idea why. But I took the envelope and put that in here, and I will be putting little pieces in the envelope that can be used in the smash book. And then I glued this little card that says, "'Tis the season to be jolly." At some point, you will see the card that goes with this. I think it's in a different book. And there's a glittery piece that says peace, joy, and love. And then this leftover piece of K & Company paper I cut out with my Big Shot, and then I made this tag to put in it and stamped Noel on it and put some baker's twine. This came out of a Christmas book, and I backed it with cardstock and then just glued it on that edge and that edge so it's open. And then I made a tag and put a photo mat on the back of it, and then made another card with a photo mat out of scraps of paper. Put a photo mat here, cut with the Big Shot, or maybe with my Cricut. I don't know, I had it for a while. This was shown in my Goodwill haul. This was the pack of paper and envelopes that came from the United States Post Office that somebody put in the Goodwill. So I put that in there. Some more frames cut with my Cricut, and they can use the same templates for that. And this was cut out of an old piece of paper. It just says ho ho ho. And I just glued this up here. It's loose. So if they wanted to put a picture up here, it could actually go up under there. And this one has a journaling card glued on it. Here's the Tim Holtz paper. I stapled this little bit from the Tim Holtz paper and then this little ticket that I printed from the internet. Glued a journaling spot. I glued on half of a Christmas paper doily here and a Graphic 45 journaling spot. Graphic 45 card here that says Winter Wonderland. This is the K & Company paper, very cute. And this is from the Tim Holtz paper, and I glued it on as a pocket, and then this little tag was made with Prima ledger paper. And then I had this little book, Christmas book, that somebody had also put in the library for them to sell. And it says Christmas photos on this page. And over here it says, ever peeked inside a present and ruined the surprise? Tell your story. So that would be a fun way to journal. I printed this from the internet and then put a journaling card on the back. We always have so much to do in December. So I put a to-do list there. More Tim Holtz paper, and then this little stocking was cut with my Cricut. This paper, I glued this little strip on. I don't even know what kind of paper that is. I only had the one sheet, and it was in strips, so I've been cutting the strips up and using them. So I glued that on as a little tiny pocket. This is from the Tim Holtz paper, and I just folded it and punched it so it can be used for photo mat. And this is just something cute to have in the book. Also from the Tim Holtz paper, it was cut in a strip and then folded and glued together to make a book. Felt a piece of glue on that. Here's this cutout from that Christmas book. More Graphic 45 paper. This says a Merry Christmas to all, and that's K & Company paper. Another piece of the Tim Holtz. It has Christmas words spelled out, and some tags that I put in there. K & Company paper, and then this was just a small piece, and I edge punched it with my KC Success. I always say that wrong. CK Success? I don't know. Library pocket with Tim Holtz paper decorating it, and then a journaling spot inside. So there's the little book. Here's the medium book. This one is about 7.5 by 10.5. And it's covered with a piece of one-sided paper that I've had for many years. I don't know what company it's from, but it had this part right here that I thought was perfect for a book cover to put the title in. So this December word was cut from my Cricut. And then I just put this little shape here. This word Christmas was cut out of a book. The little shape had holes in it. You were supposed to make, it was cut from the Cricut too, and tags, bags, and books or something like that. And it had several pages that you were supposed to bind together. So I just wound my baker's twine through the holes and tied it. And then some little punch outs and a little word tile that says miracle. And this circle was cut with my Cricut. And here's some K & Company paper. They all pretty much have the same kinds of paper in them. This was cut from another card or another paper that says Deck the Halls. This one has a side pocket, and I put this little scrap because you can write on the white part. And then I stamped. There are several manila tags in this book, and I stamped journaling spots and Christmas designs on them. Here's from an old Christmas Carol book. I decorated it with washi tape. Stapled on some Tim Holtz tickets there. The word joy was cut with the Cricut. And then I glued on this pretty bag that I got at Michael's, put a ledger card in there, and some Tim Holtz decorating there, and this was printed from the internet. Here's the card that came with that Williamsburg envelope. And I wasn't going to use the cards because they had a recipe right here. But then I realized that the recipe was a punch out. So I punched it out and then glued this piece of paper that says Merry Christmas all over it, behind it, so this can be used as a photo mat. Of course, I could have just covered up the recipe doing that, but... And I put this little paper clip that I had made. It's a paper clip with a button, a plaid button glued to it. I took index cards and took these K and Company Smashbook words that you can buy and glued them all on there because we always have things to make and buy and want and all that stuff. Made a pocket out of that. I'm trying to hurry so I can get through this book within 15 minutes for both. This I had made. It says Grateful, and then it's got stickers that number 1 through 10. And then here's another little pocket, and I put a brad here to separate it into 2 pockets. And then I stamped journaling spots and Christmas designs. There's a library pocket here, we decorated with paper. And a little pocket here with another card in it. And then this is from the Christmas Carol book. This was Stampin' Up! Paper, and I glued this paper on as a photo mat. I made this little pocket with my Big Shot and put a little journaling card in there. Oops, I'm bumping my tripod here, and there's another one of those U.S. Post Office stationery pieces. And there's another envelope, and I will be putting some pieces in there. So that's the second book, and I'm going to do another video to show the third book, so I will be back.